It's been a really disappointing afternoon for the Bucks. They've gone out of the Emirates FA Cup here at Warrington Town by a score of 2-1, and I have manager Gavin Cowan with me. Gavin, obviously everybody's disappointed after the result. Any particular thoughts about what went wrong?
Yeah, I thought we were good to be in the game at half time. We didn't learn from last week, and we conceded right on half time. Switched off. We were really solid and on the front foot for the first half. I thought we had a couple of half chances where we could have, got ourselves in the lead and probably would have gone on to win the game comfortably. I felt at the time, but we switch off for 2 minutes. We fall into a bit of trap of arguing and scrapping, and they got the goal right on half time, as it did happen last week. So it was that they had something to defend then. So it was always going to be tough from there. But at half time, when I spoke to the lads, we were very much in the game, and I felt as if we could continue to do what we do, get some more shots off and some crosses, we'd go on and we'd be all right, but not to be.
Sure. Any sort of feeling that people might have underestimated Warrington Town? I mean, I know you've watched them and they've got some quality in their side, haven't they? They've got some players who've played, at the level that we're at.
Yeah, no, it's not about Warrington. It's like congratulations to them. They've got through to the next round. But like I said to the players before the game, after last week's result, we were playing against ourselves today. The opponent was irrelevant. It was all about us and proving something to ourselves. Not losing back-to-back games and making sure that those first 8 to 10 games weren't something that were going to be a bit of a fluke. I think that was the one question, wasn't it? When everybody, when we were flying, everyone questioned whether we would continue it. Obviously, that's proving not to be the case at the moment, but I'm sure the reaction will be good. We'll show a lot of courage to come back and make sure we get back to the way we were.
Sure, and I know you've spoken about finding out about whether they are the players that you believe they are, but what kind of reaction you get from them. I guess it's not the way you wanted it, but this is when you find out, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I'd have found that out today. It was an important one for us, and obviously gutted because the football club miss out on a substantial amount of money, and everybody knows that it's needed really within the club. But not a lot we can do about it now, and it's like anything, isn't it? It's how you come back from it, it's how you react, and that's what's really important to me now. It's about us sticking together as a team, a squad, a group, supporters as well, and sticking together because we disappointingly go out of this competition, but the league is something very much to play for, so we're still very excited about that. So we've got to find something within ourselves.
Sure, okay. Couldn't have a tougher test for the next game then, with league leaders surely coming to town. But I mean, is that perhaps the players might be something they need prove themselves in that game?
Yeah, it should be any game, Rich. It should be any game, whether it's Chorley or in Chelsea. It doesn't matter. They should be wanting to impress every game. Like I say, it's a privilege to play for the football club. And now listen, like I always say, I'm not going to get too excited when we were flying, and I'm certainly not going to get like the gentleman who was shouting at me from over the dugout, saying he'd managed the club, he'd supported the club for 45 years, and this is the worst he's seen. Well, listen, I've not been around the club for 45 years, but I've seen a lot more performances worse than that. It's people like that. They're not supporting the club. That's not supporting the club for me. Supporting the club is sticking together. And listen, I'm open to criticism. I'm open to criticism on today's game, no problem. I'll take the responsibility and I'll happily stand up to that because that's what I'm here for. But I wonder where that gentleman was when we were winning and we were 8 games in, unbeaten, second in the league. So listen, it's not about falling apart. That's what the club's done for the last 3 or 4 seasons. In times of trouble, when you find out about people, and that's what I'm going to ask for the players. And what you'll see from me is you'll see that continued intensity. We'll be working even harder in training. We'll be staying that bit longer. We'll be going to the next level, and that's what baffles me a little bit. We're in training, and over 8 to 10 games, there's only a certain amount we can work on. But now we've stepped up levels, and there's that increased knowledge of ourselves, of this process that I talk about. So it can only come down to one thing. So all the positions are up for grabs this week against Chorley. All the positions are up for grabs. And it's not about ripping up and starting again because we don't get 2 down. But all of them players in there need to realise now, after 2 back-to-back defeats, that's not acceptable for me or the football club. So everybody's position's up for grabs now. So they're going to have to work really hard in training. And I hope what that brings about a cultured performance again. Well, I say cultured, but certainly. A performance that the supporters are really going to believe in and really be impressed with.
Sure. Okay. Thanks for your time, Gavin. Cheers. Thank you.